wanted to talk to this guy. I know that guy.
どうした？
Redwood.
旅はどうだった？ポリスノーツさん。
AP だったのか。トニー・レッドウッドだ。AP の爆弾処理を担当してるが、鉛筆乗りでは彼の右に出る者はいない。ミスター・ゴダードと呼ばれている。
宇宙酔いくらいで参るようじゃ、早くホームのママのところへ帰った方がいいぜ。それとも、またスチュワーデスに薬でももらうか。ここはビヨンドだ。あんたのような古いテレストリアルには厳しいところだ。
俺はお前のようにゾンビみたいになるつもりはないがね。
ジョナーさん、やめろ。相手にするな。
そうだエド、この次元装置の仕掛けわかるか？
なんだ、いきなり。
あんたホームで爆弾処理班にいたことがあるらしいな。
麻薬界入る前のことだ。
通常爆弾の設計者は解体されないようにいくつかの安全策を設ける。ここに赤と青のコードがあるだろう。最後のセーフティー装置だ。このどちらかを切断すれば解体できる。俺がセットしたとしたら、これはどっちだと思う？危険の赤か安全の青か。
レッドウッドのレッド。
ドカーン。アウトだ。コロニーに穴が開いたぞ。攻撃的な人間が常に赤を好むとは限らない。答えは青だ。俺ならいつも青にする。
ああ、覚えておくよ。
I defused this earlier. Real state-of-the-art device. Terrorists have been using some pretty advanced components in their bombs lately, haven't they? It was a bomb that killed Lorraine. Why'd you ask me about it anyway? You never know where the terrorists could strike. Even an old-timer like you should be prepared. These terminals display the data sent here around the clock by the operators. He's like a corpse with that complexion, not to mention the look on his face. We call them the living dead around the station. I don't blame you. Redwood, what do you want? Lorraine. Who's that? Don't know anyone called Lorraine. In the space plane, you said you'd gone to visit some family at home or something, didn't you? It wasn't work-related. It was personal. I don't have to explain myself to you. Answer the question. I don't remember saying anything like that. He's a totally different person from the plane. In case you haven't figured it out, that was an act. An act? We can modify our personalities anytime we need to. It's all part of our training.
その加えタバコ、まだやめられないようだな。そんな格好でうろうろしてると逮捕されるぜ。気をつけな。
あいにく灰皿が見当たらんのでな。
灰皿？灰皿なら空気感があるだろう。
I don't like this guy. I'm getting vibes that he did it. I think we're supposed to be getting those vibes, but man.
感じ悪いやつだな。一度も瞬きしなかった。
ブローズナーはみんなああだ。あれでノーマルらしい。
ノーマル？異常だぜ。
彼らは目に人工水晶体の眼内レンズを装着してるらしい。視力は常人の2倍はあるって聞いたがな。
それにしてもエド、奴に対しておかしくないか？
そうか？
奴と何かあるのか？
ブローズナーとは合わないだけだ。
Why doesn't he get along with Frozen? We'll see what he has to say. Maybe Idle has something to say. So what do you think? You popped your BCP cherry. Okay, let's take a look. Let's see, that was combat mode. You finding this difficult? You can't exactly call these good results. Oh man, things will start getting harder around this level. After level 20, you'll start to see some criminals disguised as civilians. At first, they look just like civilians, but after a few seconds, they'll draw their gun on you. You need to be quick to shoot them before they shoot you. If you don't, you'll lose your life and you'll count as a miss. You're shooting too many civvies. It can be easy to mistake a civvy for a criminal sometimes, so be sure to look carefully. By the way, you see that thing flying around there? What's that thing? I didn't notice it. It was just points. That's enough practice. Let's get back to business. Man, my ears are ringing like crazy. Because you didn't wear the ear protection, Einstein.
ジョナサン、薬莢を拾っていけよ。リフトガンは薬莢が出ないんだ。苦情が殺到する。
なるほど。わかった。エドは訓練しないのか？
いいんだ。
どうして？お前の腕を久々に見てみたいな。
俺はうまくない。もう目が良くないんだ。
おかしなやつだな。
Okay.
ここが BCP の正面玄関のロビーだ。大きさを無視すればホームの警察と大差はないはずだ。
整然としすぎてるがな。
Alright, well that's... means we're missing something. Any new development? Ever since AP started up, we don't do any of the dangerous work like drug busts that normal vice units do. It's more of less basic collars for us. Well, let's go back to forensics and see what Victor has to say.
おう、ジョナサン、分析結果が出とるぞ。ゴールビーも頑張ってくれた。
えらく早いな。
当たり前じゃ。ゴールビー。まずジョナサンから預かったカプセル剤じゃが。
Black Poppy.
ジョナサン、無駄足だったかもしれん。わざわざビヨンドまで来たようじゃが。4つのカプセルはどれも徳川製薬が扱う新薬じゃ。インドメタシン ZL、 これはインドール誘導体を含む解熱鎮痛剤。次はパラディソン、これはペンゾジアゼジン誘導体を含む精神安定剤。そしてハイファイトミン、これは B12 を含む水溶性ビタミン。最後はフェドレジン、これは塩酸エンドルフィンを使った交感神経興奮性鎮害剤。ビタミン剤、風邪薬、咳止め、精神安定剤。
麻薬の一種ではなかったのか。
どうやらそうらしいの。これは単なる薬じゃ。それも発売済みのな。
なぜ北条はただの薬を大切に持っていたんだ？
何か細工があるんじゃないのか。製薬会社の社員なんだろ。
カプセルにマイクロフィルムを隠すとか。
そうまで言うのならこれを見てみるんじゃ。
Okay.
4つの薬品の成分と化学組成の分析結果は数値も何もかも徳川が申請している薬と全く一致する。さらにあまりよく知られてはおらんが、正規の薬には全てその内容薬が何であるかを示す製剤識別コードというものが薬の表面か包装に記号化されて示されているんじゃ。この白い部分のマークが徳川製薬製を示し、その横の数字が薬品名を示しとる。これらのカプセルもこの規定に従い製剤識別コードの表示と内容が一致する。つまりごく普通に大量流通している薬じゃ。どれも特別な薬ではなく何の共通性も見出せん。いや、ただ
どうした？
一つ腑に落ちんことがある。これを見てくれ。これはカプセルのコードの拡大画像や。こうしてみるとこのマークは確かに徳川製薬の識別コードなんじゃが、見るんじゃ。三つ葉葵の上の部分が欠けているじゃろ。今のプリント技術ではこんなミスは起こさん。
ああ、確かに欠けている。
しかもこの欠けている部分が右と左で対になってるんじゃ。4つのうち2つが左の刃が欠け、残り2つは右が欠けている。偶然じゃろうかな。
It's kind of weird.
プリントミスでないとすると意図的な印。徳川製薬品の偽物じゃないのか。
それにもう一つ、このカプセルは封入式でなくキャップ式を採用している。キャップ式カプセルは半世紀も前に使われなくなってるんじゃ。
北条はどうしてこのカプセルを？このカプセルに何があるんだ？そしてこのカプセルのためにロレインも。
しかし徳川製薬が関係していることは間違いない。徳川製薬社員の行方不明、不可解な徳川製薬のカプセル。
ビクトル、葉の方はどうなんだ？
こっちの方はズバリじゃったよ。この葉はブラックポピーの葉じゃ。
ブラックポピー？
黒消しだ。合成麻薬ナークを作る原料となる。
ああ、ニュースで言ってたやつか。
そうだ。毎日合成麻薬ナークに関する事件は大変。
That's odd.
やはり麻薬絡みか。
ビヨンドにおける消し栽培は何年も前に完全に撲滅したはずだ。これはホームから密輸したものだろう。
となると北条は黒消しの密輸に関与していたのか？
それが見てくれ。
Oh, we got another cutscene.
これはこの葉の断面図じゃ。普通ホームで育った植物からは必ず大気汚染物質が検出されるんじゃ。じゃがこの葉はきれいなもんじゃ。きれいすぎる。
つまり地球外で栽培されたものということか。
さらに限定を裏付けるウイロイドの一種が検出された。
ウイロイド。
これがそうじゃ。
What's a viroid?
植物細胞内に感染して増殖する病原体じゃ。しかもこれは5年前にビヨンド内だけで大流行したウイロイド S 型。
ということはこのビヨンド内のどこかで黒消しが栽培されているということか。密輸ではなく。
でこの葉が半分の意味は？
それはわからん。切断面から人工的に切断されているのは確かじゃが。
ナーク取引の際の割り符かな。
さっきの製剤コードと関係しているとは思えないか。
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I wonder if they're using it to create medication.
とにかく北条の失踪にはナークが絡んでる。そしてその舞台になっているのが徳川製薬。
ますます厄介だな。これまでにも徳川と麻薬の関係はささやかれていたんだが、上からの圧力もかかってうやむやになっている。数年前に本部長が AP を使って大々的に捜査を続けたが失敗に終わった。
それからか、ゲイツに根性がなくなったのは。
確証がつかめんことには手を出せん。ジョナサン、この件は思ったより根が深そうだ。下手すれば死人が増えることになる。
ともあれ、徳川製薬へ行ってみようぜ。北条の勤めている会社だ。何かわかるだろう。
徳川製薬なら案内しよう。ただし慎重に行こう、ジョナサン。
徳川製薬なら世話になったからな。酔い止め薬で。
他に質問は？
Victor? What is it? What's about getting rid of a body inside the colony? Burning would attract too much attention. Dumping it underwater wouldn't work either. They'd have to gas releases during decomposition. Well, it's kind of crude, but burying it might be the best way. The colony has several meters of soil in its surface areas to help protect against cosmic rays. You wouldn't smell it if you buried it at least 20 to 30 centimeters down. What can you tell us about NARC? I saw a little bit about it on the news. Yeah, it's a drug that first became popular with the astronauts for relieving the pressure of the job. It's since spread across beyond and the rest of space. It's a semi-synthetic narcotic created through supercomputer drug design. Black poppy opium still serves as its base. Even a couple of milligrams can be enough to kill you. It's difficult to detect in drug tests because it takes in such a small amount. That's why it's so hard to prosecute users. They just need to look harder, that's all. We've had ways of detecting trace amounts of drugs for a long time. RIA testing, for example. Well, that's true, yes. Some screeners have just stopped trying. Anyway, that's one of the reasons NARCs become so popular. People know the chances of being caught are next to none. The black poppy is a delicate flower. Cultivating them would require a lot of money, effort, and the right technology. It's more than a one-man operation. Takagawa's Pharmaceuticals is the Takagawa Group's biggest moneymaker after Takagawa Heavy Industries, Takagawa Electronics, and Takagawa Construction. They were one of the first companies to expand into space development. They developed the first made-in-space version of drugs like interferon and uracanase. They were practically an overnight success. The development of their immunosuppressive wonder drug, cypilizidine, used in organ transplants, revolutionized pharmacology. Though, of course, the development of mass transplantation, where you mask the organ's antigens with the antibody fragments and avoid post-op rejection, ended the need for it. This is a complicated game. saw a news story on Narc on my flight here. You guys aren't in charge of Narc, are you? Even though this is technically Vice, AP handles everything, Narc. We could never deal with something like that on our own. Seems like a hell of a problem. So I saw Gates again. Chief Becker? He's something else, ain't he? I say he's charismatic leader with impeccable judgment. Right, Chief? What's that supposed to mean? I think maybe he's got something you've lost. He still feels terrestrial. Yeah, from forensics? I don't know him that well, but he seems like a nice guy. Yeah, he does. He reminds me of home. A lot. You seem to have a thing for terrestrials. Actually, now that I think about it, Chief Becker and Victor even smell like home, if that makes any sense. I can never work undercover because of my build, so I'm always the one making the bust. And don't even say it, I get it from the guys upstairs all the time. That a Maximum hamburger? They became famous after they set up the so-called drive-thru for astronauts. I used to eat a lot of them on home. This is the Beyond version of the 1G meal. This is my favorite food. Beyond, there are two types of packs. The other one is the 0G meal. I like the 1G. Dave wants to try a carbonated drink on home. Things like carbonated drinks and beer don't taste very good in zero gravity, so they're impossible to come by here. Even when you try to get them shipped from home, they spoil along the way. What's that shirt you're wearing? It's from the Repatriates movement. I'm a repatriist myself. Mankind should return home. We don't belong out here. Jesus, Dave, not so loud. You could kiss your job goodbye if the brass found out you're a repatriist. Interesting. What kind of sensors do those goggles have? None. They're the type of goggles biplane pilots wore back in the 20th century. One of my dreams is to fly a hang glider on home, to have nothing between me and the air. Now that I think about it, there aren't any aircrafts in here, are there? Nah. No gliders, planes, choppers, nothing. So we got a life jacket and a pair of goggles. What's the point? How would you ever use them here? Oh, I do. Yeah, how? They make me feel good. Dave. Yeah. Yeah? The old guy? I like him. He's got something in him that Beyond Stone, I guess. Like how he can be uninhibited and irrational at times. I met up with Gates. He's like a mini reunion, huh? He's an amazing guy. I get a little nervous around him, to be honest. Hey, come on, I was a Policenaut too. Yeah, I know. It's not easy getting Narc off the streets. AP's been on it, but it might be too big of a thing for even them. You guys feel the same way, huh? It's not just them. All Beyonds would tell you the same thing. The Chief hates Narc more than anyone I know. Why's that? Yeah, since when? Why would you especially hate Narc? I don't know what she's talking about. Interesting. What are your hobbies? I guess my favorite thing to do is build kits with a box of Maximum burgers next to me. The PVC you get here is made in zero gravity, so you don't get any air bubbles or warping or bumps. Everything comes out real nice. They're better built and cheaper than the models you find on home. Let's go talk to Chief. He's an AP officer. They can access any sort of data on Beyond from these terminals. I guess these days of hitting the streets for leads are over, huh? Yeah, you can do it all from here. What's that thing there? That tube in his arm. It's a part of his dialysis procedure for their artificial blood. You have to undergo dialysis every 240 hours with that type of blood. Human kidneys can't filter it. Must be a pain in the ass. 240 hours in 10 days. It's 10 days. I mean, they can never go AWOL, huh? Exactly. Some people say they intentionally designed it that way. It's kind of fucked up. There's Redwood. This should be fun. You still here? Got a minute, Redwood? What is it? Who deals with narc around here? We have a dedicated narc unit in AP. I'm in the counter-terrorism unit. I wouldn't want to be in the narc unit. Nowhere near as much action. He really is like a completely different person. Okay. I guess I'll be going. So I gotta find a way to meet the narc guy. That's the hangar for AP's EMPs behind the chief. Our mechanics and system engineers are all employees of Takagawa Heavy Industries. They look like they were taken straight out of those robot animes that were big when we were kids. That's Gates, the head honcho. Let's go talk to him. Well, how's the inquiry going? Chief, what is it? Yes, narc. Unfortunately, narc is everywhere on Beyond. We have a narc unit in AP, but it just continues to spread. That a big problem, huh? They were talking about it on the news as well. A large percentage of the crimes which occur here are related to narc. People have said that Takagawa's involvement with drugs, haven't they? Oh, I got itchy nose. Ah. Ah. We weren't able to prove anything. How much pressure does Takagawa put on you? Look, he's got more power than every politician here put together. Naturally, we don't have jurisdiction over OLA here. There's nothing we can do. It's difficult for us to obtain any sort of detailed information. Our relationship with the police at home isn't the best. That's why I want you to keep this under a radar. Understood? Yeah, of course. Thanks again, Gates. Are you thinking her murder is somehow connected to narc? We don't know for sure yet. Just don't go provoking Takagawa, alright? EMPS are a type of mechanical suits used both inside and outside the colony. Born from a cooperation between Takagawa Heavy Industries and ourselves. They employ a bilateral master-slave manipulator which allows for 7 degrees of freedom, just like the human body. The technology is a product of Takagawa Heavy Industries. Research and on master and slave manipulation. That Yuri you had your accident in is a far cry from their performance and reliability. Why don't they just turn them into robots while they're at it? The visual sensors in today's robots take 1 full second longer than a human to process the data. A second can make all the difference in the world out here. Teleexistence is a more feasible option. You mean controlling EMPs by remote? We wouldn't have to worry about exposure to cosmic rays that way either. Mind you, we still have problems. Oh my god, 1 second. In addition to their normal police duties, AP also use EMPS to perform rescue operations inside the colony. Of course, AP handle narc as well. We recruit AP members from government frozeners. It's dangerous work having family or friends is only a burden. That was one of the lessons of your accident. On topic of that, they only use sperm-carrying genes well-suited to space environments when they fertilize frozener eggs. In other words, they select the fathers from past astronauts, meaning we could all be responsible for some of these guys. The possibility is there. You could say frozeners are literally the sons of us astronauts. It seems a bit barbaric in a way. Yeah, I've talked to Redwood. There's definitely something unusual about them. What do you mean? Well, you have an elite class of people supposedly going to protect the general population. That just doesn't work. People don't look at it that way, Jonathan. This is outer space. Rules are different here. BCP as it exists before was simply unequipped to deal with space's unique environments. That's why we started using EMPS as well. The biggest mistake the Policenauts made was carrying over a police system from home to the colony. This isn't home, it's a space colony in the middle of nowhere. AP have given us a start in transferring our entire force into one fully adapted to Beyond. I think I just did that one. Alright. Interesting. Let's go talk to Victor one more time. You gotten used to things around this place? Narc is made by first extracting opium from black poppy pods. After that, you combine it with a synthetic drug made from pethidine and other compounds. And then to that you add a hallucinogen. You end up with the effects of a natural drug, a synthetic drug, and a hallucinogen. One horrific combination. Some people call it the drug of the 21st century because of the way it was developed. It has been nearly 250 years since Sir Turner first isolated morphine from opium. You can blame all the advances of modern pharmacology for that monster. They lead the pharmaceutical industry not only on Beyond, but throughout space. Their work with the cancer drug Paclitaxel, the SAS medicine, calcium foods, their list of successes goes on and on. Let's see. It's the lobby. The girl's gone. Find what you're looking for, detective? Just getting started. Yeah, now you can add babysitting terrestrial douches to your job description.
よし、ジョナさん、捜査に出かけよう。